When you come across a story that makes you shake your head in disbelief, take recent events in Vero Beach, Florida, for instance. Officer Christian Butterfield, a seemingly good cop, finds himself in the hot water for what many would call an act of decency. It's a tale of how the war on drugs has started to eat their own. On June 1st, Officer Butterfield pulled over a vehicle because he smelled cannabis. During the search, he found over 20 grams of flower. According to the body-worn camera footage, Butterfield did what many would consider a humane act. He didn't arrest the driver on the spot. Instead, he had a conversation. The driver does not follow the advice of our friends, the Pot Brothers at Law, and shut the fuck up. No, instead, he says, I'll be honest. Yeah, I use personally every day. It helps me because I don't have the medicine for ADHD and bipolar. Can we just dump it? Butterfield, recognizing a young man struggling to manage their health, responded, I'm really leaning towards that. I think I'm going to help you out with that. You seem like a good kid, and maybe you're just hanging out with some questionable people. What Butterfield did next is where things took a turn. He instructed the other officer on the scene to remove the driver's handcuffs. Then Butterfield drove back to the police station and dumped the pot in the dumpster. Body cam footage captured it all, but by the time investigators checked the dumpster, the garbage truck had already collected the evidence. Now, it's worth noting, this investigation wasn't triggered by a complaint about Butterfield's actions. No, it stemmed from his sergeant's issues with him not turning in written warnings for traffic violations. This led to a review of his body cam footage, which then uncovered his decision to dispose of the cannabis. Butterfield has since resigned and turned himself in. He's now charged with tampering with evidence, a felony. Think about that for a moment. A good cop made a human decision to avoid ruining a young person's life over a small amount of cannabis, and now he's out of a job and facing felony charges. What's really at stake here? Butterfield's actions saved the community time, resources, and money. Instead of processing an arrest and going through the judicial rigmarole for a nonviolent cannabis charge, he chose compassion. And yet this act of kindness has been met with harsh consequences. It's a terrible decision to remove one of the good ones, someone willing to make a judgment call in the best interest of a young individual and the community. Now, the absurdity of the situation is that it highlights how ridiculous the war on drugs has become. It's no longer just about targeting criminals. It's now targeting the very officers who exercise common sense and humanity. Butterfield's case is a stark reminder that sometimes good intentions are punished rather than praised. So here we are, watching as the war on drugs claims another casualty, this time one of its own soldiers. And for what? For choosing not to add another name to the list of those whose lives have been derailed by an unnecessary cannabis charge. It's a sobering thought in a situation that calls for some serious reflection on our priorities and values in law enforcement. I'm Stone Slade, reporting for the High at 9 News.
Stone, he got reprimanded because he didn't prosecute. He didn't choose to put charges on this young man. Am I correct on that?
Correct. And then the tampering with evidence, throwing away the cannabis in the dumpster.
I mean, I see cops dispose of evidence all the time when they use discretion. I've seen them tell me to stomp stuff out on the side of the freeway, and that's technically littering.
Run over a bong.
You were waffle stomping on the side of the freeway?
Yeah.
I think. Well, since the last administration was very willy-nilly, if you will, giving out medals of honor and shit, I think this guy deserves a Congressional Medal of Honor. Why don't you guys have a ceremony for him? Because he's doing the good work that other cops should be doing. They're going to get in trouble for this shit.
Come on.
Yeah, I think we need some free Butterfield shirts.
Butterfield.
Yeah, free Butterfield. And I think one of these cannabis brands needs to make a Butterfield strain and throw his face on it.
Butterfield runts. You know it's coming.
Butterfield
the
runs,
are in print right now.
Butterfield Farms.
What about Butterfield biscuits?
Butter is better.
Ooh, I like that.
Everything's better with Butterfield.
Yeah, Butterfield with a D.
Or maybe one of these new grows can just call their thing Butterfield Farms in his honor.
This guy needs to be heralded by the community.
No, 100%. Someone in the cannabis industry needs to hire this guy for their security detail.
This is what Weed for the People is all about.
100%, Rico. You are so right about that. I think this is shameful that this department did this to this man when he has full discretion to be able to do these types of things.
Or weren't they just screaming about officer discretion?
Yeah, we were just talking about this yesterday.
They weren't allowed to make arrests.
Exactly.
It's officer discretion when it goes your way, but when we do it, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. I've been in a situation, like like you said, an officer there was a plastic bong in this guy's truck that I was with. He found that, and he had us just run it over. And I was like, "Do you want me to pick that up?" And he's like, "No, that's what our tax dollars are for." So he let us go. We littered, and we got out of there. But I can't believe this guy got reprimanded, man. It's sad.
That's shocking. I bet you what it was. I bet you why he got reprimanded. I can tell you why right now, Stone. It's because he disposed of it and didn't take it back to the base, so then that way he could share it with all his buddies and smoke it on the weekend.
Well, didn't they say that he was being reprimanded because he was not turning in traffic violations? Like, this guy sounds amazing. You're going to rip up my traffic ticket, just toss my weed, tell me to go about my day? Like, come on.
I think he's getting
for president.
I think he's getting scapegoated. I think what it really was is he just didn't meet his quota of tickets, and so it's their way. They're saying that they're punishing him for that when they can't really punish him for not making his quota, because they can't really enforce that.
Look, Nick disagrees.
It's not even a
with
reprimanding.
but,
It's
we need
a
good
felony
cops.
charge.
This
Like,
guy
come
is
on.
on our side.
Yes.
Like, listen, I appreciate people that are on our team.
And shout out to the C word with a big old super chat. He says, "I am a dumpster for evidence."
That is his second super chat of the day, and we appreciate you, C-Word.
That is not. Oh, it is his. Holy shit! I'm sorry, C-word. I missed one. He also said, "Just a couple bucks for keeping up the good work." C-word, you are the man. Much love. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you, Mr. C-word. Yes. Everyone should have more.
And I think that is going to lead to Jason purchasing more cold cuts today.
Yep.
Wagyu cold
we're gonna go live
cuts.
and let's see what your deli selection looks like.
Yeah, we're gonna roll over to Anna's today and get some cold cuts from the deli.